Today is May the 1st. I came back out here to Maui to give y'all another sunrise video and some thoughts about X and Pulsechain, because we are now on about 2 weeks away, or the sunrise of Pulsechain and PulseX. So tonight's the night I just got in, make myself acquainted, wake up early tomorrow morning, meditate on it, and give you my thoughts. They might not be the best thoughts, they might not be right, but they are my thoughts. So hope everyone's enjoying themselves and enjoy the next few minutes of the video. Today is May the 2nd, 2022. Location is Maui, Hawaii. And came out here to do some meditating and thinking about the upcoming Pulsechain launch. And so I thought I'd share some of my thoughts. Hopefully I don't ramble too much, but first of all, I need to remind everybody in crypto that when it comes to crypto events, big planned events, that usually ends up being a selling moment, not necessarily a buying moment. So everybody thinks the big events are always buying moments, but they rarely are. It's just something to think about, even though you can't mentally think, how is anybody going to be selling Pulsechain? It's like, well, I'm just saying. Just be ready for that volatility that is unexpected. The second thing you always have to remember in crypto is what everybody thinks is going to happen, usually the opposite happens. So whenever it's so obvious it's going to keep going up, that's over. It's going to go down. When it's so obvious that, oh, we're at 12-cent hex, it's going to go to 8 cents or 6 cents. No, it's not. It's done. You know, it's going to actually turn around and go the other way. So if you've been in crypto long enough, you understand this. It becomes very clear to you. Every time you think you know something, the opposite happens, and it happens at bigger scale than you could ever imagine. So like in the stock market, if you're in the stock market and there's a big dip and Netflix dips because of an event, and so that they don't make their earnings, boom, it dips. The next day, over the next week, it might dip another 10-20%. Well, in crypto, when something big happens and something dips and you think, okay, now that's the low, it might dip another 50%. It might dip another 75%. It's like way bigger than you think possible. So the same thing happens on the way up. When all of a sudden the crypto goes from 12 cents to 20 cents, or 12 cents to 50 cents, and you think it's over, it might double again. It doesn't go up a 10 or 15% and wait 3 months. It usually, when you think you're at the bottom, it might dip another 50%. When you think you're at the top, it might double or 10x from there. So just keep those things in mind as we near the Pulsechain launch, which is coming up here anywhere from 1 to 4 weeks away. You know, last time I heard, Richard said mid-May. That's 2 weeks from now. So give or take a week on either end, you know, we're 1 to 3 weeks out. So I feel like that was a pretty accurate timetable. Knowing crypto, it might be exact opposite of that, but I feel like we've got a 7 days to 21 day window that Pulsechain is going to launch. Now, those first 48 hours are going to be hard for people to get their head around what's happening. Okay, so we're about to have Pulsechain launching, and all these new tokens and copies of ERC20s and new Pulsechain tokens, new PulseX tokens, no bridge in, no bridge out, just a closed ecosystem that you can trade percentages. You know, you can trade against each other. See, the market will decide, is Pulsechain equal 1-to-1 to PulseX, or is PulseChain equal 3-to-1 to PulseX? We're going to find that out for 48 hours. So I want you to understand that one of the secret weapons there is going to be hex, because there's no, if PulseChain 100x's, there's nowhere to move that 100x as people start selling it down to some other token. There's nowhere else to move. You can't move it to USDC for 1,000. Whatever weird volatility happens, there's no safe harbor. There's no stable coin. Okay, so for those 2 days, the safe harbor is really going to be PX. So I think you got to understand there's going to be a lot of pressure into PX. So I don't think people understand that yet. What does that mean? Well, that means by buying hex right now and getting that instant copy into PX, you will get that pressure up. I mean, it's so clear to me that that's the release valve to any of this as the coins go back. I mean, what? There's 3 tokens that are gonna have value on the PulseChain for sure. Might be a dozen. 3 ERC20 tokens. There's what? Hex. There's Maxi. There's Pulse Doge, and there's Hedron, right? All of those are going to be instantly over on the PulseChain network as ERC20s that are going to end up having value over there. So those are the 4. I think PHEX is the best of those 4, so I think it's probably going to have the most. But any of those 4 could be release valves for too high a PulseChain or too high a PulseX, wherever the power goes. So anyway, it's hard to think about. My brain is like, oh, let me just wake up in a month and see whatever happened. But at the same time, it's interesting to watch. When you already have all the tokens, it doesn't really matter if one of them pumps and the other one's dump or what. Hey, you're in them all. The problem is there's a high percentage of people that they don't have PulseChain or they don't have Hex. Most of them all have PulseX. So it'll be interesting to see how it all plays out. Anyway, we are on the dawning of PulseChain. I would say within 30 days. It's a beautiful day here in Maui. Rained a little bit this morning. I woke up and I didn't have the brain power to discuss what I wanted to discuss, but we're having a nice view, a little bit of clouds over the mountaintop. Hope you're enjoying your day just like I'm enjoying mine here in Maui, and I'll talk to y'all soon.